Welcome back to Doobrey. Today on Doobrey we're going to start forging out the handguard. Let's go. Usual thing, so we've got it in the fire, going to start burning, get it warm, put some borax on it. Once that's got boraxed, get it into the heat again. Do 3 hits into the heat, borax into the heat, borax into the heat, borax, then get it on to Sir Percy. Okay guys, just when we forged that out, I made a nice long square. I'm going to chop that up into little pieces next time, weld them together and then draw them out. So in the forge at the moment, it's just annealing. Hopefully you can see that. Just pull it out slightly so you can see it. There you go. Just pull it out. That's just annealing and then nice square bar. 7 layers. I've not done anything wonderful on it. I did square off the corners and then round it, so we should get the W's in it. I'm hoping we get the W's, and we're going to chop it, stack it together, and then we can hopefully try this, get a star effect. We can definitely make Damascus now. Whether or not we can get the star effect, only time will tell. Okay guys, it's the next day. We've got the forge on in the background because Dude is going to do some I think he's going to do a bit of forging. But anyway, here's my bar of Damascus. There's only 7 or 8 layers. What I'm going to do now is clean up these surfaces. I want to do a chop on the end to see what it looks like, and then going to chop it into 6 or 9 blocks, weld them all together, and then forge it flat and forge it out using Percy. So let me get grinding. Getting our bars nice and clean. I'm going to chop off this end bit here, and I want just to see what the pattern looks like, because then when I chop into 6 or 9 little billets, I want to align the pattern so it looks quite pretty. So I'll quickly get on the angle grinder, chop it off, then I'm going to drop it into the Damascus. No, I'm going to drop it into the ferric chloride, and then see what the pattern looks like. No idea yet, but let's go and have a look. We quickly dumped it into the ferric chloride, and it's really hot. Hopefully you can see that. It's lines at the moment, just straight lines. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to chop it into, you can see the lines on the side. Like, can you see that? Just zoom in so you can see it. The lines are quite thick on some of this on the side. I think what I'll do, I'll chop it into 4 pieces. I'll chop it into 4 pieces, and then I will forge it on the corners to try and get a different pattern out of it. So let me chop it up into 4 regular parts and then get it welded together. Okay, we've welded up our bar. There you go. I'd say I'm not a welder, but it's a square. This is the bar that we had originally, so we need to keep it on, and then we'll heat it up. So we're now going to put this into the forge, which is on in the background. Hopefully you can see that. And then we're going to forge it out and we'll see what we come up with. So the next day. Okay, so yesterday we realized when we cut the video onto the computer that unfortunately some of the hammering out and the forging didn't actually come out onto the video. there was also a problem with our forging, which unfortunately you didn't get to see. So when we put the 4 pieces together and we started hammering, they broke apart. I know why. It's because I tried to hit on the edges and make it into a circle, and it wasn't quite forged together. So remember, there's 4 pieces of them. What I did manage to do though, and unfortunately this wasn't recorded, was to take one of the pieces and forge it out to the length that we need, which is approximately 12 inches. So it's on the rebar, it's been forged out. Today what I'm going to do is cut this off the rebar. I'm going to grind it to shape for the right size, put the holes into it ready for accepting the blade, and obviously bend it. So let's get cracking today with the grinding this down and seeing what we've got. So I think what I'll do to start with, I'm just going to cut this off the rebar. So we've got something more sensible to work with. So I'll get it into there, I'll get the angle grinder out, get this cut out, and then we'll start seeing where we are. So to give you an idea of the size, this is one of the templates that we've got. You remember it's got a hole in the end and it bends around, so that will form actually the hand guard. Measuring this against here, just enough. So I'm going to cut it off as close as I can here, lay this out, and figure out where the actual hole's going to be. Right, let's get cutting. Okay, it's roughly ground in, as you can see. What I want to do now is make one edge completely flat. When I lay it against a flat surface, it's a little bit wibbly wobbly. So I'm going to use the 2x72 grinder, which is behind me over here. And I'm going to get one of the edges completely square. And then I'm going to put blue dicom on it. I'm going to use the calipers to measure an exact square line all the way along. Chop it, grind it so it's square and perfect, and then we'll start looking at laying out where the hole's going to be for the guard. Let's go. So I will blue dicom it. Whilst I blue dicom it, I can then get my calipers out while the blue dicom is drying. And this is so we get the right width and length. So you can see that line on there? That is very basic stuff, but I want to show you the process anyway. So now I'm going to hog that out and make it square, and then see where we are. That should be a lovely piece that will match up with that, which it will be. Okay, back to the grinder. Okay, so as you can see, we've roughly ground in the shape of the guard. I'm going to run this is only on 36 grit. I'm going to go up some of the grits at the moment. I want to get it nice and smooth. And then I'm going to get my example guard and lay it roughly where the gap's going to be. I need to obviously get the real blade in a moment. But I want to get this ground down. Then I'm going to get the hole made, and I'll use my drill press for the hole. And then I'm going to bend it here and then bend it approximately here and then fit it to the knife. So let me keep grinding for a moment and I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, so she's now been on the Trizac belt, super shiny. Before I start bending it, I actually want to quickly do a quick test etch. So I want to see what the pan's like, so decide where and how to lay it out. So I'm going to quickly pop it into the ferric chloride, just for a few seconds, just see what it looks like, neutralize it, and then lay out where my hole's going to be for the guard. So that's quite nice. Take some of that off, but it does look pretty epic. I think that's the side that's the side I want facing outwards. So now I know that if my hand's like that, this is the part that I want. So this is the part, just think through, this is the part that's going to have the hole in it on this side. So we're going to get the actual main blade and lay it where the hole's going to be. So hopefully you can still see that. Right, so here's my blade, if you remember. So this is typically how you have it, in this sort of fashion. Okay, plan B, we've put some blue dicom on there. I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to use my scribe to get roughly where the hole's going to be. Cool. Right, there's my center point. zoom it in, there we go. I'm struggling zooming today. There we go. So now I'm going to get my drill press, drill that out, and then I can start thinking about the bends. So okay, to heat it up, I'm going to use my blowtorch, and then I'm going to take it on here and bend it towards me, I think. Bend towards me. And there we have it. It is now bent. It's slightly warped, so I'm going to need to heat it up a bit and straighten it out slowly, but I can do that next time. So guys, that's been quite an epic day. It does take a long time to do the smallest things on your handguard. Next time we'll clean it all up and we'll present it to the actual blade, and then we'll make the handle, glue it all together, and we're done. So we're nearly there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week on Doobrey's Day. Cheers then.